But if you type in, you want to see everywhere on the map on some of these comparison websites for flights, you can find the cheapest countries that way. I've been to places that I never thought I would get to go because I found, £40 flights, and it was absolutely amazing trips. So maybe have a bit of an open mind when you want to travel. Another thing to think about, if you do have your mindset on a certain country, maybe look at different airports within that country. If you put in whole countries, they will show you, the 5, 10, 15 different airports within that country. And a lot of the time, somewhere that's an hour away could be a lot cheaper than flying directly to the most expensive city. But maybe you get to see a different part of that culture that you hadn't already thought of before. Another thing to think about is if you are gung-ho and want to go in the month of March, as I said, but maybe be flexible on those dates. Sometimes you do save, at least £100 by going, a day earlier and coming back a day earlier, or vice versa. So it could be £100 on a Saturday, but if you go on a Wednesday, it could be £30. Now, a lot of people will automatically think of hotels and book a hotel. However, if you do this, that means you have to, buy in restaurants, buy in cafes and bars when you're out in that country. And of course, it's a holiday, you may want to do that. But if you are on a budget, the best way to do it is to maybe rent an apartment, or maybe even rent a room in someone else's apartment. We would go on Airbnb, look for either studio apartments or one-bed apartments where you just want some eggs in the morning, or maybe some snacks to have a fridge nearby. It honestly will save you a chunk of money.